If your goals don't scare you, they're not big enough. You've heard of that quote. Today, I get to share with you goal setting. This is one of my favorite things to do at the beginning of the year, especially, and even throughout the year. So stay tuned to the very end because this video is going to help you become the best version of yourself in 2024. Let's go. Welcome, everybody. This is Grace, and welcome back to Wealth and Wellness with Grace. Today, we get to share goals. You get to hear some of my goals, and I want you to share in the comments below about your goals, because when you share, you're really putting it in action, you see, because you're talking about it. So you're actively thinking about what you want to happen in your life. That takes a lot of thinking, that you have to put it on paper or type it up and start working towards it. And I'll share with you what are goals, when should you have one, should really consider having goals, why is a big thing, and how to go about it. So we'll start with what is a goal. So initially, I thought a goal was really anything. Was I right or was I wrong? I was right. So a goal is anything that you intend to do. You see, you put a purpose to doing something. You see, it's about intention. Today, I wanted to record this video for you. Guess what? That was my goal for today, and I'm doing so. So have I accomplished my goal? I bet you I have, because I actually recorded a video. Well, still recording it. After finishing recording that video, that goal will be done, moving on to the next goal. And that's how goal setting works. You see? So some goals are short-term, others are intermediate, and others are long-term goals. So for goal setting for recording videos, today is one of the short-term goals, because I planned a goal for this week to record the videos. Intermediate would be, how am I doing it on a monthly basis? Am I recording videos, you see, and am I consistent about it? How often am I recording them? For the long term, for the year, what are my goals for my channel for the whole year? So that's how it works. And so who should set goals? That's a big thing. Anybody who has a purpose and who is intentional about what they want to do in life should set goals. And actually, they say that anybody with a high self-efficacy, right? So you have a high value of yourself, you should be able to set a goal. And another thing that I know about goals is anybody who's still learning and growing, so long as you're not dead, you're worthy of setting a new goal. And that goes for anybody, even if you're elderly, even if you're sick, whatever. You're a kid, all of us can set goals. Just like my mentor always says, go after your goals with relentless pursuit. That means continue doing it. Persist until those goals are accomplished. So that's why I'm so excited about this topic, because every time I start a goal, it can be intimidating, but the more you go at it, you see, you're persistent, you persevere, you're dedicated to it, you commit to doing it. It happens, and you praise yourself because you're so proud of yourself that you are able to follow through. So I'm excited about your goals as much as I am for mine, to see what you get to accomplish this year, especially when you set those goals the right way. So let's continue on. So when should you set the goals? Anytime you can start setting a goal. Say, for example, my goal for content creation. I literally started that goal in 2020. However, I refocused that goal in 2022, and that's when I became more consistent with it. All of us have capacity to change our goals the way we want to change them, that matches our desires, matches our personal experiences, and also matches what we are looking to do with the future. Because my goal now for content creation wasn't the same goal when I started. Or my goal for real estate as a realtor, it's not the same when I started 2 years ago. So the goals change, and you have to change with it. So those actions will also have to be changed to focus on what you're looking for that particular future. And now let's talk about, where should you start? The where is really important because you really have to start with what you have. You see? So if you're talking about the goal of getting a house, where are you going to start? You see? The basic skills, what you have at your disposal. So that's what I mean by where should you start? Start with what you have. So you're going to find out exactly what do I need to do first, because that's the biggest thing, knowing what you want. And we can give other examples, such as I talked about getting a house. I talked about financial goals. Those are important goals. Financial goals, weight loss goals. How many pounds are you trying to lose? Because every beginning of the year, most of us have a big goal to lose weight. Last year, my goal was to lose 10 pounds. Do you know at the end of the year, I realized that goal wasn't achieved, which I really don't have to lose any weight. But it was just something that I wanted to do last year and I didn't do it. So I'm pushing that goal to this year. But I say doing something different about it, you see, because I really started putting it in action. So I'm going to exercise more this year. I'm going to eat right. So I'm putting it more in action than I did last year. And that's how goal setting works. So other goals can be improving your credit, anything that you really want to accomplish for you. Going back to school, that's a big goal, you see. But starting is the process. So when start at any time, start with the resources you have, and also put it in action. And the biggest thing is the how, you see, and then the why. So let's talk about why do you need these goals first of all. You need these goals because all of us have a purpose. I used to think, okay, why do we all have to do the same thing? You see, so many times you hear people, they start doing something and they see 10,000 people doing it and they shy away from doing it, right? No. If this is your purpose, you ought to continue doing it, because those 10,000 people, you see, they don't have anything to do with you. That's your goal for a reason, especially if you know that's a passion God put on your heart to do. So I had to learn that, because initially I used to think, okay, maybe if like real estate, that was a good one, because initially I took a while to actually become a realtor, because I realized, there are so many realtors out there. But the more I was so passionate about it, the more people I got to help. When I was even an agent, I realized I could make a bigger impact. And so God put it on my heart to actually become a realtor. And those last 2 years, I've really committed to assisting clients get into homes, to assisting clients sell their homes, assisting investors, doing consultations. So I've done so many things in just 2 years as a real estate agent or realtor. So you just have to figure out what the purpose is for you. You see? Because my purpose is not your purpose. And if you do it thinking this is what I should do because the grace is saying do it, that's not a good enough purpose. I see a lot of nurses at the bedside who really don't want to be there. They do it because that's the paycheck. And you can see it in the service. You can see it in the frustration. You can see it in not wanting to come to work, but they have to be there because they have to get paid. So, and yet for me, when I show up to work, people, there's a different spirit about it, because I'm showing up because I don't have to, but I'm passionate about it. I want to serve. You see? So that has to be in you. Don't do all these things that I'm mentioning. Do it because you want to. Do it because you care about it. That God put that vision and goal and dream on your heart. And God doesn't make mistakes. We know that, right? So if you know this is something God wants you to do, why aren't you doing it? Seriously, why aren't you doing it? I was talking to one of my contractors, and so the more I kept hearing him saying, I wish I had done this, I wish I had done that. And I literally had to stop him. I was like, I'm sorry. You're older than me and you're wiser than me, but I need to tell you something. When I came here, I literally had to, and this happened last night, literally spend 2 hours of my time. I didn't have to, because I literally went to the house to look at that project, and then going to the house, and he's like, oh yeah, I really want to do something about elderly living, but I wish I'd done this, I wish I'd done that. You're not wishing around me. We are doing. It's actions only. You see? And I even told him something that I always have to remind people. Sometimes you see, you have to believe in yourself enough that you can do that thing, because God doesn't make mistakes, and God put that thing on your heart for a reason. So when you're committed to it, it's gonna work out. But you just have to have unwavering faith. You see? Because faith without works is what? It's dead. So it's not gonna work if you wish it. You see, that's wishy-washy. You want it or you don't. You focus. If you want it, you can get it. And so I had to literally lay my whole blueprint out and tell him, okay, when I came, I had $20 coming from Africa. I didn't know people here. But if I can own more than 10 properties in America, and you're over here working for me, not to despise him, because a lot of people might look at that. You say, I'm like, oh, she's talking bad about. No. I'm telling you the truth. Because some people might not tell you the truth, but I'm going to give you the truth. And it might not be what you want to hear, but you're going to hear the truth. You see? And so one thing I remember him saying was like, thank you for sharing that. Because I didn't have to. Some people I'm sure they will be like, I just want my contractor to continue working for me. And I told him, no. If God put this thing on you to do, you see, that you want to build an assisted living, that you want to serve people, you see, the elderly, and you've always been doing it without them paying for it, just imagine how much more God will bless you with if you actually commit to doing it and following through. So I can't wait to see where he goes. And I prayed about it for him. And I was like, God bless him. At least open doors for him, you see? Because those are prayers we need to pray, not wishing, but thank you, God, for the opportunities. Thank you for this vision and dreams and the provision, you see? So this is powerful. Goal setting is literally a prayer. And sometimes I don't even pray about it. I thank God for the opportunity to speak to you today, because because so many people wish they can, and I'm over here speaking to you. So it's an honor. So when you all see me humbled and always saying, I'm so grateful, thank you all, it means a lot to me, you see? And I don't take it lightly. So thank you so much for everybody watching, and please continue supporting me, because I really appreciate it. And I'm hoping that you really consider everything I'm mentioning and sharing in this video, because it's definitely changed me. And the how is a big step, and especially think about everything I'm going to mention in the how. Because there's one thing saying, I want to achieve this goal. There's another, actually achieving the goal. Because that's what stops most people, and that's what separates the haves and the have-nots. So what do you want to be by the end of 2024? Before even the end of 2024. Do you want to be a have? Do you want to be a have-not? I want to be a have. I have many haves. So I hope you want to be up here in this particular have with me, because we all can. Me having doesn't take away from your having. It's sufficient. So that's why I'm always wishing more for people. So we really want you to wish more for yourself. So continue planning on these goals like we mentioned. So what is the SMART goals that we are going to mention? SMART is an acronym: simple, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time specific. A lot of times we say, I want to buy a house. That's an okay goal, right? But do you know what would make it better? I want to buy a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house in Baton Rouge in 2024 by December, by whatever, you see? So you're literally putting it, putting it together in a reasonable and actionable way. And so, of course, with the measurable. So how are you going to measure this goal? Are you home worthy? How are you financing? How is your credit? You see? So we have to think about all that. Because if you don't have anything with finances, you don't have a job. You see, we're back to square one. Do we have the actual funds to actually go through with it without the banks approval and pre-approval and banks funding. You see, because if you do, that's great. You don't really need the job. But if you don't, we might have to consider making sure that we keep that employment, that we ensure that we have credit, at least okay credit when we start. Think about, what are you comfortable affording? Are you looking for a $200,000 home versus a $500,000 home? Because the monthly payments are going to be different. So what monthly payment are you comfortable with? Because at the end of the day, this monthly bill has to be paid. So I always tell my clients to start with that end in mind. What do you want to be paying every month? What are you paying now? If right now you're paying $1,000 and then you get this house for $2,000, that might be a little more challenging initially. Maybe the prices might not be that low to what you've been paying as a rental, but at least even $1,500, because then that's not as overwhelming as $2,000, especially if you're starting from $1,000. So making it at least attainable, you see. And then the other thing is realistic. You have to really be realistic. You see, is this what you really, 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 really want? Or are you doing it for social media? Are you doing it to please somebody? Do it for you. So many people are struggling. They're doing things that they shouldn't be doing. They're doing it because my family say to do it. My family say to go to this school. My family say to start this. My family say to join that. You're doing it for somebody else. So you're out there depressed, struggling with so much anxiety, and you don't even know why you're doing such and such, or why all this is happening to you. Like, I have a friend right now who's always experiencing so much stress. You see, he shows up to the ED and they ask him, what's going on in your life? And he feels like he's having a mild heart attack, and he ends up in the ED and they tell him nothing is wrong. You see? So he might even end up having a silent heart attack one day because of all that stress. And I literally asked him, like, what are you doing with your life with all this stress? Because is the goal to end up in the ED, end up dead, you see? Is that what your life is worth? So think about what these goals are, because this can be a marriage goal. Is your marriage trying to be you just want a partner, but not a quality partner? What is the goal? Because I'm going to talk about partnerships on this channel, and I know a lot of people are going to have so many comments, because so many times we're in relationships we shouldn't be in. Because people reach me all the time and they ask me, Grace, what do you think about my partner doing this and this? And I'm like, you shouldn't be with that partner. That's not a partner. What do you think they're calling it a partnership? It needs to be a partnership. But if they're not willing to make it a partnership, you're not in a relationship. Sorry. You're in a situationship. So that will be another story for another day. But realistic for you, you see? So realistic for you, how far is this property compared to where you go to work, where you go to school, you see? Because then it has to be in your reality. Are those rooms, you're talking about 5 bedrooms, 2 baths, you might be a single person. You really need to have those 5 bedrooms, 2 baths. So is that realistic for you? If you're one of those celebrities and making a lot of money, I'm sorry, okay, you can afford it. Or maybe you can afford it, because we've seen so many who we think can afford it and turn up not being able to afford it. That's another story. But realistically for you right now, my viewers, whoever is watching, is that goal that you're really trying to attain realistic for you? That's going to be my question. And please answer in the comments below, because I don't want to talk to myself. I want to hear from you so we can have this conversation going. And the last thing is time sensitivity. Oh, I can't emphasize this enough. I used to say, I want to buy a house. I said that for 5 years. Do you know I said that from 2007 until 2010, 2011? That's a long time. But because I didn't have, you see, the SMART goals, I was like, I just want to buy a house. Any house, please. 2013, I said, I want to buy a house this year. God help me buy a house this year. Do you know, by November 30th, 2013, we got into our first home. And it was hard. It was hard. If you've heard about my story, it was hard. This came from evictions. They came from, you see, staying with friends. It had a lot of challenges, but we were able to do it because we already committed to that goal. God helped us make that timeline because we say this year, which meant 2013. So literally, I could have put in my calendar before December 31st, 2013. You see? But it happened. And I wanted it to happen. And I'm so glad it happened. So I hope whatever goals you're planning for 2024, that they come to pass. I have a lot of goals coming up. Oh my goodness. Like my channel, I'm really trying to do more. You see, being more consistent. I'm trying to get $1 million. You see, funds, revenue. So if you know your girl needs subscribers, you know I need watch time hours so I can get paid. Because this $1 million needs to be in my bank account. And I can't wait to share it with you because this has been a goal of mine for years. And the other thing I always say is if others can, how come we can't? Because people are out here making it. And so we can. And I might even think, okay, so if I don't get the subs and I don't get this and I don't get that, guess what? That's where you have to also put some contingencies. You see, you're like, okay, what can happen to make me not achieve that goal? So plan for those things that might happen. You see, those roadblocks. You see, so I already planned for my roadblocks. When I don't feel like shooting, there are days when I don't feel like being out here. Those days are real. Or even the weather. You see, I had to contract with my videographer if he's not available. So shout out to Delane in the background. So if you all need a videographer, a wonderful videographer who will take great care of you, guess what? I'm going to put his comments below. Shout out to Delane who's helping me out. I really appreciate it. But I'm letting you know that you have to plan for those contingencies. You see, for me, even one of the contingencies to make sure that I would shoot videos more often was hiring a videographer. Because I knew if I put it on my schedule, it wasn't going to happen. Because it was going to take me more time to learn it and then more time to, you see, so editing videos is not easy. So this is a serious task. So I outsourced it to somebody I know who will do a better job than I can. So I hope you can do some of those things too, where that you can find people who can help you. You see, whatever goal that is, find out, okay, who can help me achieve this goal? Talking to a realtor, you're trying to find out, talking to a realtor is a thing. You see, research information, whereby you're not there trying to figure things out by yourself. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, somebody has written about it and somebody has done it. All you have to do is actually you do follow his blueprint or her blueprint. And so this has been really a wonderful topic, and this has been one of the topics I really enjoy to talk about because every year I've been doing this for years, and I get my girls together. So, and this time is going to be guys. So this will be the first time that I invite guys because I've always done this with women. So, because my thing is to really empower everybody who wants to get it because we all can. We all have potential. Me getting it doesn't take away from you because we all have the same overflow. You see, it's easier for it to circulate. How about that? Instead of me just over here holding the knowledge, holding the wisdom, no, we can use it together. We can work together. We can collaborate. So my goal for this year for you is to make sure that whatever those goals are, you start. And don't wait until December. Please do not wait until December. If you're talking about you want to lose weight, what are you doing in January? How many pounds are you losing in January? How many in this, February? That's how it works. My goal for content creator to be more consistent. How many videos am I recording this month? You see, I'm recording 8 videos this month. So I'm ahead of the game, such that when anything happens in between, at least I have so many videos ahead. You see, so you're going to see a lot of similar outfits, but that's no worries, okay? You're going to get the information. But I'm so excited for you on this journey. And please continue to like, comment, share, and continue to dream, because that dream is just for a reason. A lot of people are going to their deathbeds and wishing. I wish I could have done this when I was younger. this is your time to do it, because there's no better time like the present. Until next time, I hope you enjoyed this video and hopefully it saves somebody's life in 2024.